Hello and good evening, everyone. This is CA Devang Kothari from Academy, Bangalore. Before I begin, just let me know if my audio is clear, if my video is clear. Please let me know in the comments box here that whether you're able to hear me and all. So with that, we can begin. Yes, sir. So, Akash, Ishwar, Sitaram, welcome, all of you, welcome. Well, first of all, I'll introduce myself. I am CA Devang Kothari from Yashas Academy, Bangalore. I am a chartered accountant by qualification, but I am an educator by passion. My passion is this subject of costing at CA final level. But before I begin with that, let me make a big announcement to you. I am happy to announce that Yashas Academy Bangalore has collaborated with an academy for launching English batches. Yes, entire English batches for all levels of CA. For all levels of chartered accountancy, we will be having live online batches with Unacademy right here on the Unacademy app. Yeah, so if you have not yet downloaded the Unacademy app, please download the Unacademy app and subscribe for our lectures over there. Anyways, first, right now, I'll be telling you that what is this particular session about. This session right now is about basic introduction to strategic cost management and performance evaluation. This is your CA final subject paper number 5. Yeah, and my this session is to basically cover three things. Yeah, three things. Number one, that how is this subject different from costing subject at intermediate level. Number two, I will be telling you how are you supposed to go about with this subject, what should be the student's approach to this subject. Yes, because the costing subject at CA inter level is very much different from this costing subject at CA final level. So your approach over here is going to be very much different. And thirdly, there are certain misconceptions about this subject. There are certain misconceptions among the students about this subject. I will be clarifying those misconceptions. Yes, but yes, I will be going for all of that. But before I go on, once again, I welcome all of you to the Unacademy live channel. You're watching Unacademy CA Final live channel on YouTube, and this is me, CA Devang Kothari, for you over here. Yeah, please let me know in the comments that you are here. Well, before I begin, I have a saying for you. This is what I always believe. I believe that if you love a subject, if you love something, then it becomes your passion. And once it becomes your passion, trust me, you will become unstoppable in reaching that goal, in reaching that particular desire. Personally, for me, I say that my love is the subject of costing. I am an expert in the subject of costing, and subject of costing is my love, and I'm here right now for CA final subject of costing. Before I go on, I'll also tell you that please do subscribe to our channel here. Hit the bell icon so that you keep getting the regular updates from us, and like the video, share the video with your friends, and yes, so that more and more of your friends can get registered with us, can get exposure with us, they can enjoy the CA coaching with us. Yeah, anyways, um are all lectures of CA final and inter and foundation level from Yashas Academy live will be on the Unacademy website. Yeah. On the Unacademy website, you can get subscription, or you can also watch free special classes. But for all of that, you will have to put the code Yashas live. Yeah. So make a note of this code Yashas live. Log on to your Unacademy app, download the app, sign up on the app, and put the code Yashas Live to unlock free special classes. Yes, I will be conducting free special classes from tomorrow onwards also. But these special classes, free classes, will be on the Unacademy app. Yeah, I will be taking certain important topics of CA final costing in the special classes, and later we have full-fledged CA final batch also coming up on the Unacademy app. Yeah, for the batch you will have to get a subscription. You can use this code to get 10% discount on this subscription. You also need to use the same code to unlock the free special classes. Starting from tomorrow it will be. Right now this class is free on YouTube, so no code required as of now. Anyways, so about the subject, strategic cost management and performance evaluation. Well, all of you have studied the subject of costing at intermediate level. Naturally, then only you passed and came up over here. Now, my first discussion right now is to tell you that how is this subject different from the same subject at CA intermediate level. Yeah. Let me show you few things of differences there. Yeah. At CA intermediate level, your subject was called as At intermediate level, your subject was called as cost and management accounting. Now at final level, it is strategic cost management and performance evaluation. Well, as you can see, the name itself is so complicated now. But don't worry, just the name is complicated. Subject is not complicated. I'll tell you that when I discuss about the misconceptions. Yeah, I always say this, that CA exams are not difficult. There's a common misconception among all the students that, oh, CA exams are very tough, very difficult and all. But trust me, CA exams are not difficult, but they are long. The syllabus is huge. It is not difficult, but it is huge. The content is very huge. That is the only problem here. And trust me, to tackle that problem, what you need is consistency. What you need to tackle that is simple consistency. You need a dedicated, consistent efforts to be given throughout your entire study duration. Yeah. Anyways, so coming back here, the subject is not complicated. Trust me on that. Let us see how is this different from your CA intermediate costing. Well, at your intermediate level, the subject of costing was mainly about calculations. You are supposed to do lots and lots of calculations. Yes or no? Yeah. Can you just remember? Can you just remember that what all types of calculations did you do at CA intermediate level? Let me know in the comments below. Yeah. Let me know in the comments below that what all kinds of calculations did you do at CA intermediate level? Or chalo, let me just know the chapters that you did at CA intermediate level. Come on, let me know in the comments below so that I know you're there. Yes, you had chapters like process costing. Yes, you had chapters like budgets also. You had chapters like overheads. I know overheads might have been a nightmare for many of the students and all. But yes, if you observe all the chapters, and yes, Iswar, you're saying marginal costing, very much important. And in fact, marginal costing also important at CA final level. Yeah. But if you compare all these, if you look at all these chapters that you had in your intermediate level, don't you think that all these chapters, everything at intermediate level was primarily focusing on only calculations part? Yes, you're given a question, you're given some numbers in the question, you have to calculate something, reach an answer, and that's it. You reach an answer and you get the marks for it. Now, this is the biggest difference. CA final level. Well, I don't say that CA final costing is not involving the calculations. No, definitely it involves calculations, but at CA final level, yes, calculations will be there, plus there will be lots of analysis that you need to mention. There will be decision making that you need to mention. I'll give you example. Like say you told me about marginal costing. Okay. At intermediate level, under marginal costing chapter, you had questions like they would ask you to calculate break-even point. Yes. But now at final level, it is not just calculating break-even point. At final level, you will have to analyze your answer and take some decision accordingly. You have to analyze your answer, like you calculate break-even point, and based on that answer of break-even point, you need to recommend to the company that whether the company is reaching break-even point, whether it is not reaching break-even point. If it is not reaching break-even point, then what improvements can the company do? You have to give your recommendations in that. Well, that is what makes my CA final costing more analytical. I don't say it is more theoretical. No, it is more analytical. Look, what do you call as the theoretical? You call it theoretical if it involves pure theory without any calculations. But no, your CA final costing is not pure theory. It involves calculations, and based on that calculations, you need to give some analysis. We'll see that in many questions that we solve during our curriculum. Yeah. But that is my number one difference. Number two, like I said, CA inter costing involved more of practicals calculations. CA final costing, you will find practicals, some theory, and also case studies. I can say priority wise. Well, first priority will be practicals. Second priority is case studies. And third, last comes the theory. Again, this is one of the misconception. Many of your seniors or many people might have told you, like those of you who have freshly cleared CA inter exams and are planning to start CA final coaching, there is a common misconception among all of you that many seniors might have told you that CA final costing is now 80%, 90% theory. Well, trust me, it is not 80%, 90% theory. Yes, by the end of my session here, I will prove it to you. I will prove it to you that CA final costing is still more than 70% practicals only. Yes, so practicals is the first priority. That is the most important part still. Naturally, because it is a costing subject. How can costing subject be purely theory? That is a misconception. It is not theory. It is more of analysis. And analysis will be possible only after you solve the practical question. Yeah. Second most important thing in this subject will be case studies. Yes, they will give you some story about a company, and that story about a company will be describing some problem that the company is facing. All you need to do is resolve that problem of the company. It is like imagine you are a chartered accountant. Imagine you completed CA, you are already a chartered accountant. Yeah, feeling happy already? Just get that feeling for a while. And you are in your office practicing CA, and a customer, a client comes to your office. He comes to your office with some problem. He comes to your office with his business related problems, and you are supposed to solve his problem. Now think, when a client comes to your office saying that, "Kya re yaar, I'm incurring so much losses in my business, I don't know what should I do." Think of this. The client is coming to your office and telling that, "Oh yaar, I'm making so much losses in my business, I don't know what to do." What will you tell him? Well, if you are a CA inter student, what you will do is you will calculate break-even point for the client and give that calculation to the client. Say that, "Dekho, this is your break-even point. You are operating below break-even point. That is why you're incurring losses." Imagine what will the client say. Client will be like, "Okay, bloody hell, I know that. I already know that I am operating below break-even point. I am incurring losses. Big deal. What should I do?" So your job is not to give simply calculation of break-even point to the client. No. Imagine you are a practicing chartered accountant sitting in your office, and a client comes to your office asking for your help. This is how you answer your CA final paper. You answer your CA final paper as if you are a practicing chartered accountant and you want to help your customers resolve their issues. Yes. So when this customer comes to your office that saying that he's incurring losses, that is when you analyze his business and you help him in his decision making. You suggest to him that what should he do to get his business running, what should he do to improve profitability of his business. This will be your case studies. Yeah, the case studies in your subject will be giving you a real life situation like this about some particular company, and you are supposed to either solve the problems existing in that company, or maybe the company does not have any problems, but still you need to give recommendations how can that company still improvise in their business. Yes, in short, the point is that you answer the paper as if you are giving comments to your client, as if you are actually giving suggestions to your real life client. If a real life client comes to you, you don't just make a table, make some calculations, solve the answer and give it to him. Doesn't that make sense? Yes. Look, CA Institute is now gradually preparing you to become a reliable practicing chartered accountant. This is one way to do that. Yes. So your paper will contain practicals, theory and case studies. Most priority is practicals. Second most important will be the case studies, and the third will be the theory. Yeah. At inter level, your costing subject mainly focused on only internal factors. Internal factors like, for example, if my company wants to decide a selling price, remember at your inter level, how did you decide selling price of your product? Well, at inter level, you decide selling price of your product by calculating production cost of your product. Yes, you calculate cost per unit of your product, plus you do profit per unit that you require, and that gives you selling price per unit of your product. Yes, this is what you used to do at CA inter level. Now think about this. This entire calculation involves only internal factors. Cost which I am incurring, profit that I require, it is all internal related to my company. We generally did not use any information from outside the company. But now at final level, while taking your decisions, while giving your analysis, you must consider external factors also. Now, just because you consider external factors, does it mean that this becomes a theoretical subject? No, I'll give you an example. Say external factors also you need to consider, like selling price charged by the competitor. Well, I cannot just charge any selling price which is obtained by adding profit in my cost. What if when I take cost plus profit equals to selling price, what if this selling price turns out to be much higher than the selling price charged by my competitor? Will the customers buy my product? No. I have to consider external factors like competitors' selling price. I have to consider external factors like demand. Chalo, imagine as if there are no competitors. Think about this. If there are no competitors at all, then does it mean I can charge whatever selling price I want? No. Even if there are no competitors, yaad karo, your economics subject, you must have learned the law of demand. If you charge a very high selling price, then your demand will fall. Demand will fall, eventually your profit will fall. So external factors like demand, external factors like competitors, all these external factors, government regulations or many other external factors also should be considered while taking your costing decisions. Now this is my third major difference. Yeah, third major difference at CA inter level, all my discussions were mostly pertaining to only internal factors. At final level, my costing subject will also incorporate discussions of external factors, many external factors. Well, that is what makes it a little more complicated. Yes. And the last major point of difference is a basic theory that you already had in your CA inter level. Tell me if you remember cost control versus cost reduction. Yes. Can some of you tell me what was the basic difference in cost control, cost reduction? Let me know in the comments, or at least let me know in the comments that how were they different? What was the main points of difference? Just wait a few seconds. Let's see if you know. Otherwise, I will tell you. Yes, anyone? Come on. Acha, tell me which chapter in your CA inter level was regarding cost control or cost reduction? Can you at least tell me that? There you had one chapter in your CA intermediate course that was directly, precisely about cost control. I'll give you more hint. That chapter was helping the company in controlling their cost. This is the maximum hint I can give. Come on. Which chapter of costing was about cost control in your intermediate level? Oh yes, finally we have a winner. Yes, Sitaram. Thank you very much. Yes, it was the chapter of standard costing. Yeah, standard costing in your intermediate level was mainly about cost control. Cost control means to control my actual cost and bring it down till the estimate. While cost reduction is what? Cost reduction focuses on what? It is mainly about reducing that estimate further down. Yes, it is about reducing that estimate itself still further down. That is your cost reduction. Okay. Yes, Shubham, I will be giving you chapter wise descriptions also. Just wait for it. Our session is still 30 more minutes. I'll cover everything. So what is cost control? Cost control is about controlling my cost, controlling my actual cost and bringing it up to the estimate. But cost reduction is about bringing that estimate further down. So cost reduction will involve, say, incorporating some new technology. Cost reduction will involve some new discovery or new type of machines and all. Basically, cost reduction will be the main focus of CA final level. While CA inter level, your main focus was on cost control. It was purely focused on simply cutting the cost. You just wanted to cut cost. That was your CA inter level focus. At CA final level, your focus is more towards cost reduction. It is towards value maximization. Now, you might ask me that what is value maximization? I'll give you a beautiful example. Look, most of my discussions will be filled with real life examples and real life cases, situations that I'll discuss. One such real life example I have for you. You know, there's a company called Colgate. Which is the most famous product of Colgate? All of us know, toothpaste. Yes. Now, this company is very old, and the the case that I'm describing is of almost 1970s or something. Now, during this time, 1970s and all, there were not many toothpaste brands in India. There were very few toothpaste brands existing in India. And out of these very few brands, Colgate was the brand leader. Colgate was the brand leader for toothpastes in India. Now, this particular case happened somewhere in 1970s, and this was the time when Colgate had created such a brand image that toothpaste was not known as toothpaste. Toothpaste was known as Colgate. What do you put in your brush? Colgate, not toothpaste. It is something like Xerox. Xerox is not the name of the product. Xerox is the name of the company, but the company has become more famous than the product itself. Same goes with Google. We don't say that search on the internet. We say Google it on the internet. Yes, searching is the product. Google is the company, but company has become bigger than the product. Well, same was the story with Colgate at that time, that Colgate was a brand bigger than the product itself. People did not know that it is called a toothpaste. People just said that this is Colgate. Now, in one particular quarter, when the financial results of the company were declared, it was noticed by the equity analysts that this one particular quarter, the toothpaste sales of Colgate has shot up rapidly. One particular quarter, suddenly the toothpaste sales started increasing rapidly. It showed a huge increase in the toothpaste sales. All the equity analysts were wondering that, bloody, how can this happen? You're wondering, like, how come suddenly toothpaste sales starts increasing? Toothpaste is basically an FMCG product, fast moving consumer goods. And generally for such FMCG products, the sales does not fluctuate too much. But this time suddenly the sales shot up for only toothpastes in Colgate. These equity analysts, they started wondering that why the hell did the sales of toothpaste start increasing? It is not like suddenly people started brushing teeth more often. Suddenly the number of consumers increased. Suddenly the population increased. Well, that can't happen suddenly. So the equity analysts were actually wondering. For a few months, nobody found out that why did this actually happen. But after a few months, it was discovered that why did that sales increase? Can someone tell me, if you know, why did that Colgate sales suddenly increase? Those of you who have attended some of my face-to-face classes, I must have told you this story. This is my favorite story to explain value maximization. Tell me, why was Colgate sales suddenly increasing? Anyone? Come on, someone from my class, are you there? Someone who knows history, are you there? Okay, seems like none of you know business history. I'll tell you. My question was that, can you think why suddenly Colgate company's sales started increasing in one particular quarter? Yeah. Well, why did that sales start increasing suddenly? I'll tell you why. The toothpaste design, the toothpaste tube design. That toothpaste tube goes like this. There is a opening, there is a cap at the top which you can rotate and open. Now, there was some brilliant designer in Colgate designing team. Yes, designing team. There was some brilliant designer in the product designing team. What he did was he changed the design of the tube to some extent. What he did was the nozzle of the tube, that nozzle of the tube from where the paste comes out, what he did was he simply increased the size of that nozzle. Yes, Divya, you're right. Well, your opposite actually, not decrease, it is increase. Baba Ramdev ka Ashirwad. Shubham, very good. Baba Ramdev ka Ashirwad. Anyways, so what this designer did was he simply increased the size of the nozzle by few millimeters. Yes, just a few millimeters he increased the size of the nozzle. So what happens? Well, if he increases that nozzle size, now it is a bigger nozzle. So now when a consumer will squeeze the tube, more paste will come out. Yes, so now when you squeeze the tube, then more paste will come out. And plus, all of us are shown in the TV advertisements. All of us are shown in the television advertisements that you take the brush and you put the paste to the entire length of the brush. But you don't need so much paste. Myself, personally, I have such a small mouth. My teeth are also so small, you can't even see them. But if I take the paste as per the TV advertisements, I will fill up the entire brush with that paste, and that also S shape. I don't know, early in the morning, half asleep, half my paste falls in the sink. How do they show that I'm able to put S shape on that sleeping S shape on the paste on the brush? Well, practically I have never been able to do it, but people actually follow that. Whatever they show in the advertisements, there are so many people who are dumb enough to actually follow exactly what they show. Shah Rukh Khan comes and says that you take this much paste. Oh yes, I'll take that much paste. Now, so much quantity of paste is not needed. Plus, over and above that, now that the nozzle size is bigger, so more paste comes out, more consumption, more wastage, and eventually more sales for the company. Yes, it might seem that this was such a small, insignificant change. But trust me, when 100 crore people in India, imagine when 80 to 100 crore probably at that time, when 80 to 100 crore population of India start consuming that paste, even 1 millimeter bigger diameter, even little bigger diameter paste, if everyone starts consuming, then overall for the company it will be huge increase in sales. Yes, that actually happened in India. I know it might sound unethical. Of course it was unethical, but you have to accept that hats off to this guy, that brilliant designer. It was a brilliant idea. This is what I say is value maximization. This company did not think of just cutting the cost. They thought of value maximization. With the more sales, more profit, the value of the company might increase. Of course, ethical value might decrease, but my point is that now, from the viewpoint of overall company, you need to think of such brilliant ways of suggesting your client to do business better. Of course, this particular way that Colgate did was pretty much unethical. And in fact, when government found out, they also came up with some regulations to restrict that. And because of those restrictions, because of those regulations, even today, you can notice, even today, government has restricted the maximum nozzle size. Yes, the maximum nozzle size has been restricted. So any company who makes toothpaste, they cannot have the tube nozzle bigger than that. Today you can pick up the cap from Pepsodent and put that cap on Colgate tube. It should fit. Yes, because that nozzle size is now standardized. At least the maximum nozzle size is now standardized. Yes. Okay, we have some comments. Shubham, but sir, what about when? Okay, Shubham, he's saying that what about we complete the tube and thereafter you cut the tube and still squeeze it on for 5 or 6 days. Well, that is us, that is Indians, yeah. But anyways, that is not wrong. You are actually preventing the wastages in that, yeah. But anyways, you get my point that change of design, changing the design of the product, changing the technology of production, all that comes under cost reduction, and that will be the focus of CA final costing. In short, our final costing is not just about calculations. It is about analysis, it is about decision making, and it is about a variety of such beautiful stories and beautiful case studies that we will be learning throughout the curriculum. Yes, during my class, I will be discussing practicals, I will be discussing theory also, and I will be discussing so many case studies also, so that you don't have any trouble during the exam. Yeah. Okay. Now, second thing, what I will be covering up is what approach you should take for this subject. How are you supposed to prepare for this subject? But chalo, before I go on, if you are with me still and if you like the video, please hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, and like the video, share the video with your friends. And yes, that will help you get all the updates about our lectures whenever we have them. Yes. Okay. So how are you supposed to go about with the subject? Well, for this subject, the most important part is practicals, yes. But when you answer the questions, your answers will look more theoretical. Yes, if you see the past papers, if you see some past papers, I'm showing you some analysis of last 3 papers. Well, notice in November 2019, November 20, May 19, there was no exam. May 20 also, sorry, May 20, there was no exam. These are the last 3 papers, and in these last 3 papers, look at the theory weightage. In the entire subject, say November 19, entire paper, only 12 marks was the theory, almost 73 marks was practical, and 40 marks was case study. Now, some of you may ask, sir, this turns out to be more than 100. Well, obviously, this is the total marks in the paper with options. Out of these total marks, you have to answer only 100 marks. But notice the theory weightage. When I say theory here, this is pure theory. So you notice that your paper of CA final costing is not a theory paper. It is a practical paper only. This is the most common misconception that many students miss out. Yes, so it is a practical paper. So how are you supposed to approach this subject? Well, the approach to this subject will be primarily practicals. But as I said, when you see the suggested answers of this paper, whenever you see the suggested answers of this paper, looking at the suggested answer, it will not seem that it is a practical subject. Looking at the suggested answers, you will feel that, array, this is mostly theory. Yes, that happens because even these 70 marks of practicals, if you see these 70 marks practicals in the suggested answer, it looks like theory. But you know, when you see the suggested answer, you are not just supposed to see, you are supposed to read, you are supposed to study. So, well, you may not understand that now, but trust me on this. I'm telling you, trust me on this. I am an expert in this subject, and you can also ask some of your seniors who have completed this subject and say maybe appeared for some exam. Trust me, after completing the syllabus, then if you see the suggested answers, you will realize that these 73 marks is practical. It looks like theory because it is analysis. Analysis is not possible unless you solve and get an answer, unless you do some calculations. Yes or no? And trust me, that 73 marks analysis is not from any part of the study material. It is analysis, it comes from your brain. You have to analyze that particular question, that particular situation, and give your answer. And trust me, I am here to teach you that. Yes, so my focus during the sessions, your focus, your approach to the subject should be, number one, learn how to solve the practicals, reach an answer. But number two, more importantly, we will learn how to analyze that answer, how to write decisions for that answer, how to think of all possible other possibilities and tell your client that this is what I think, this is my answer, but these are other possibilities. Likewise, you have to put the entire analysis in front of him so that it helps him take a decision. Yes, so number one, you have to solve practicals, calculations and all, but more importantly, these 70 marks of practicals involves analysis of that answer. You don't just calculate break-even point, but you recommend your client that what should he do with this break-even point. Should he continue selling this product? Should he shut down the business? Should he divert into some other product? Should he do expansion? Should he not do expansion? All such recommendations, analysis you have to give him. And whatever you suggest to him, you have to show him both positive and negative side of that analysis. You have to show him that yes, it seems good that you launch this new product, but for launching this new product you may face these difficulties also, not just cost related. I may also suggest him that if you do expansion, then your employees will be overworked. Employees might be less satisfied because you are giving them too much work. Yes, if you do expansion, then maybe you need new suppliers for material. If you take new suppliers for material, maybe your existing suppliers of material will feel bad. All that comes in the analysis. Trust me, all that is not a theory. It is not practical. It is analysis. Yeah, that is what makes this subject very special. And that is the misconception which I want each and every one of you to remove. Yes, as a CA final student, you should know that costing subject involves what. Accordingly, you take a call and accordingly, you start learning that subject. Yes. So look at this analysis, past papers. In all these past papers, November 2019, 73 marks practical. These 73 marks you cannot get unless you know how to solve the questions. Because unless you solve the question, you cannot write analysis. You know, I'd got many comments from many different students who appeared for the CA final exams, and after the exam they contact me saying that, sir, I didn't take your classes, but I did my coaching this there where etc. But the student, there was one student who called me and asked me that, sir, I have not taken coaching classes from you, but I have done my CA final costing coaching myself. He did self study. I respect him for that, but the one mistake he did was he believed that costing subject is theory. He looked at some past papers, he saw that it is mostly textual answers only, so he thought that it is theory. So he simply read the entire study material, he studied all the theories and appeared for the exam. Now think, if you study all theories of CA final costing and appear for the exam, then it means you are preparing for only this part and maybe 10-20% of this part. Case study will involve some theory, some practicals mixed. Yes, so it means you are preparing for only theory and maybe 10-20% of this case study part. You are missing out on almost 70 marks of the paper. That affordable? Definitely not. Yes or no? So I cannot give more emphasis on this, but yes, CA final costing is mostly a practical subject. Done? Yes. Okay. Next, I will be showing you the syllabus of your CA final costing and what all chapters are involved. But some of you asked me, who asked me? Shubham, you asked me for chapter-wise marks distribution. Well, coming to that, I suggest never ask anyone chapter-wise marks distribution in CA final. Look, these are not BCom exams. You cannot just ask someone that, sir, give us IMP questions, we'll prepare only that much. Not possible, dear. You know why CA exams are difficult? I told you they are not difficult, but people find it difficult because it is long. And being long, it becomes difficult because the papers are always unexpected. Yes, CA final papers that come up are always unexpected. I tell you that, say, weightage of this chapter is maximum. But then there will be exams where that particular chapter was not asked at all. Let me give you some examples along with the syllabus that I show you. Just a moment. Let's just open up the syllabus, and meanwhile, you can just like, subscribe, do the things. Moment. Okay, am I still live? I think there is some issue here. Can you just respond? Am I still audible there? I think now we are live. Okay. So this is your syllabus of your CA final costing. Now, chapter 1 is some basic introduction only. Chapter 1 is just some basic introduction to the subject, and that is what we will be starting off as the first session when I start my batch. And weightage of that chapter, yes, not very much important. Chapter 2, 3 and 4 are the new additions and the important chapters which were not there in old syllabus of CA final. They are there in this new syllabus of CA final called as Modern Business Environment, Lean Systems and Innovation, Cost Management Techniques. Chapter 5 was a chapter which is just recently removed from the syllabus. Yes, just recently, last week, ICAI made an announcement that chapter 5 is removed from the syllabus. I'm not removing it in my index page because that chapter is still existing in the ICAI study material, but it is removed from the syllabus, so I'm just showing it as it is removed. Yeah. Decision making is the longest chapter in the syllabus. It will be the most time consuming chapter in the syllabus, but this does not mean that decision making is the most important chapter. Not necessary. There have been exams where more than 50% questions come from only decision making, but there have also been exams where not even 10% questions come from decision making. Yes, so Shubham, an answer to your question, I will never give a fixed weightage of chapter wise. You might say that institute has given chapter wise weightage, but institute has given chapter wise weightage in what way? There are total say 12 chapters. What institute has done is that they divided 12 chapters in 4 parts, And then they say that each part is having a weightage of 25%. Now think, entire syllabus divide in 4 parts and you say each part has a weightage of 25%. Practically, it means almost equal weightage throughout the chapter, throughout the syllabus. Yes, so my recommendation, do not rely on any such chapter weightages given. Rather, you make your preparations so strong that no matter they ask from any chapter, I am prepared for whatever you want to ask. Yes, the main key for CA final is that do not leave anything in option. You don't have the option of leaving anything in option. Yes, because look, in the exam paper, yes, majority of the things will be out of the book only. I can also show you analysis, not now, but I can also show you analysis that in the past few papers, how much percentage has come up from my book, how much percentage has come from my classes. Yeah. Almost more than 70-80% content comes from our classes only. But yes, there will be always 15-20% of the paper which is coming from outside. Now, whatever comes from outside, you cannot prepare for the things that come from outside. Not possible. Yes, so you have to prepare only the things from the book. And you make your preparations so strong that then whatever they ask from anywhere, you should be still able to answer that. You know, I always say this to my student that expertise is not in solving 1,000 questions in preparing the subject. No. Expert is not the one who will prepare 1,000 questions in order to prepare the subject. No, expert is the one who will study only 10 questions, but still he should be able to solve any of those 1,000 questions. You solve only 10 questions, but you do it in such depth that you are prepared to answer any question even beyond that they have to ask. If you study 1,000 questions, then in the exam you will get question number 1001. Yes, so there is no meaning of studying that thousands and thousands of questions. You make your study compact, but you do it with so much depth that anything they ask from anywhere, you should be able to answer. Trust me, that is what we will be doing in our class. Yes, so going further with the syllabus, decision making is the longest chapter. I will be taking maximum time to explain that chapter, but it is still not the chapter having highest weightage. But there is no other option. I have to give so much time in that chapter. Next is pricing decision, chapter 7, which is somewhat related to decision making only. Next is chapter 8, performance measurement and evaluation. This chapter contains theory, it contains practicals, and most importantly, it contains case studies. Chapter 8 is most important for case studies. And you know, there have been exams where chapter 8 questions turned out to be less than 10 marks. And there have also been exams where more than 60 marks came from only chapter 8. So again, I tell you, please do not rely on any weightages. Rather, you prepare everything completely. Yes. Then you have transfer pricing plus, but please don't confuse this transfer pricing with transfer pricing in your taxation subject. It is different. Yes, it's different. What is it? Well, you'll see in my regular classes. Then there is chapter 10, a small chapter about certain concepts about analysis of operating income. Analysis. I told you my subject is about analysis. This particular chapter is about analyzing profit. Operating income means profit. And then last two chapters is something that you have already done at your intermediate level, budget and standard costing. But now at final level, budget chapter is only theory. Budget chapter is only theory now, and standard costing will be theory plus practicals, but it is advanced version of what you did at your inter level. Yes, it is much more advanced version of what you did at your inter level. Done. Yes, and then there are some more case studies that are given at the end of the book. We'll also be discussing that. In short, this is your entire subject of CA final costing. Yes, our regular batches will be starting soon. It will be starting from 23rd of June. Mark the date. Regular batches are starting from 23rd June, and for that you need to log on to the Unacademy app. I'll just show you that again. Download the app download the app of Unacademy, and you search out for Yash's classes. You search for Devang Kothari. You'll find my batches to be announced on 23rd of June. Yes, it will be announced soon, but before that you will find special classes of Devang sir for few topics which are the most commonly confused topics for many students. Please like, share and subscribe. Tell your friends also, even the friends who are appearing for exams now. I'm conducting three special classes for certain topics like standard costing, for certain topics like transfer pricing, topics like decision making. Yeah, three special classes: standard costing, transfer pricing, decision making. I will be conducting in the next few days. What is the schedule of that? Well, download the Unacademy app and check out on that app. Search for Devang sir on the Unacademy app and check out on the app and use the code Yashas Live. Use the code Yashas Live to unlock the free special classes. Yes. So from the comments here, Krishna is asking, kindly share the class schedule. Class schedule, as I said, will be from 23rd June. Morning batch 6 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. My sessions will be lasting for 3 months. I recommend you can go for 3-month subscription on Unacademy. You can get 10% discount on the subscriptions using this code Yashas Live. And my costing batch starting from 23rd June will be lasting for 3 months, and total 80 sessions. I will be taking 6 days a week. Morning 6:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Yeah, plus recorded sessions will also be available. So if at all you miss any session any day, then after completion of my session, immediately when I complete the session, immediately after that, recordings will be available again on the Unacademy app. Yes, so trust me, this is going to be the best way of learning that you're gonna get. Yes, Unacademy is India's largest learning platform for CA coaching, and we all at Yash's Academy are so proud, so happy, so excited to start with this live online classes with Unacademy. Yeah. Any more comments from you? Please let me know. Yes, notes will be given PDF copies and you can get them printed. I will be sharing up the notes at the beginning of the class itself, and you can get them printed and start learning the subject with the notes. Yes, that was asked by Sitaram. Any more comments? Let me know. Also tell me, how did you find this session? If you loved the session, please subscribe to the channel over here and hit the like button, hit the share button. You'll get regular updates from us once you do the like, subscribe, share, everything. Yes, so that is all with my session right now. This was the basic introduction to strategic cost management. I will be coming live again tomorrow. I'll tell you tomorrow's schedule. Tomorrow evening 6 p.m. I will be again live, and I will be discussing a very important topic of CA final as well as CA intercosting. Yes, there is one topic common in CA final costing and CA intercosting, that is my favorite, standard costing. Yes, I'm taking one live session again tomorrow for basic introduction to standard costing. What is standard costing? What are variance analysis? And the core logic behind the variance calculation. Look, for any calculation that we do in costing, there is always some logic behind it. There is always some reason behind it. Reason, like why does a company do this? Yes, many of you might have learned standard costing, you know how to make the calculations and all, but you are still wondering that why are they doing this? Why is the company calculating variances? Does a real life company actually do that? Well, yes, they actually do that. And why do they do that? I'll let you know tomorrow in my special class. Yes, for the special class, you need to download the Unacademy app. Use this code Yashas Live to unlock the special class. Yes, search for Devang Kothari on Unacademy app and you'll see the special class. And to unlock that, use the code Yashas Live. Yes, that's all from me. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow in the special class. Please download the app and meet me tomorrow again in the special class. Thank you very much. Bye bye.